What's up creators, Canon with a new video, and today we're talking EOS R versus EOS R6. Which one is actually better for video? Make sure to watch until the end of the video to find out. I'm well aware that there are a lot of videos already out that compare the EOS R versus the EOS R6 versus the EOS R5. I made this video partly for myself, but also for you creators, because I'm actually considering to buy the EOS R6 myself, and this video will motivate me in whether or not to buy the EOS R6 or not. So this will also be a very interesting video for myself. The main things I will be talking about in this video is whether or not the noise in the shadows became less visible in the EOS R6, because in the EOS R it's freaking bad. Another thing that is heavily discussed is the overheating, so we'll also talk about that. And the last thing we're going to discuss is the autofocus. Is it way better? Is it kind of the same? We'll see. So right now I'm going to show you the clips of the EOS R and the EOS R6, and on every side we have camera A and camera B. And I won't mix these two up, so it's always the same camera at the same side. So yeah, let's see if you can guess which one is the EOS R and the EOS R6. Take a look at the footage, there are some clear giveaways for me that show me which is the Canon EOS R and the Canon EOS R6. So I've been using the Canon EOS R6 over the past few weeks, and I've seen some clear differences in both, and why I actually want to get the Canon EOS R6 to shoot all my videos with. So if you thought that camera A was the Canon EOS R and camera B was the Canon EOS R6, then you guessed it right. The main thing that gives it away for me is the shadow in the noise. The shadow in the noise in the Canon EOS R is just unbearable, and it's just disgusting, and it annoys me so freaking much. So for that reason only, I just want to get the EOS R6. And to actually demonstrate it to you, we're going to rewatch the clips, and we're going to zoom in on the clips so you can really see the noise in the shadows. If we zoom in on the first clip, we can clearly see the noise in the shadows on my hoodie, and there's some weird ugly artifacting going on. The color just breaks down so quickly on the EOS R, and just in general the Canon EOS R6 maintains the details in the shadows way better than the Canon EOS R. When we go to the second clip, we actually see the same like in the first clip. So there's a lot of noise in the shadows in the couch behind the phone. The phone itself is pretty nice though, so I don't see a lot of shadows in that department, but the couch is just so noisy, and that really bothers me. When we take a look at the third clip with my dog, I think overall the image looks pretty clear and pretty good on both of them. But when we actually zoom in at the back of my yard, we can see that there are a lot of details that get lost in the shadows. With the EOS R, there's a lot of artifacting and noise going on, and therefore you can't actually see the bushes that well. And with the EOS R6, that's not really the case. Everything is perfectly detailed, and it's just a nice looking image. I think that in the fourth clip, the overall image looks pretty good. There's nothing really to complain about, and both the EOS R6 and the EOS R look good in that regard. So the last shots that I got are B-rolls, and I actually wanted to see whether or not the B-roll would look better on the Canon EOS R6 with the IBIS, and whether or not it would contain the details in like a darker environment. So let's check them out. So I think in this one too, the Canon EOS R6 is a clear winner over here. There is also a little bit of noise in the shadows with the EOS R6, but it's manageable, and I'm sure we can remove it with some denoising. But with the Canon EOS R, it just bothers me so much. I've told it before, but I really can't get over it. And in this last clip, if we zoom in and we look at the inside of the lens, it's also pretty clear to me that there's just a lot of freaking noise in the EOS R. I think the autofocus on this camera is just freaking insane. It really nails autofocus like 95% of the time. So yeah, it's really amazing. It's just a step up from the Canon EOS R, which was already pretty great in my opinion, but the Canon EOS R6 is just freaking amazing. But there's only one thing that bothers me, and that is that I have to make proxy files for 4K 60p footage. I have a MacBook Pro 16-inch with an i9 CPU and 8GB of RAM GPU, and it's a very good laptop. It's an insane beast, but whenever I need to edit the 4K 60p footage, it just starts to stutter and it's just freaking annoying. It makes me lose time, and I also have to make proxy footage, which also makes me lose time. So yeah, that's a bit of the downside, because the Canon EOS R6 shoots in H.265 codec, and that's pretty hard on our PC. So yeah, that's just annoying overall. And other than that, I didn't have the camera overheat on me yet. So I usually film in parts. So I film a few clips, and that takes around 5 minutes. Then I pause my clip, then I take a look at what I need to say, then I record the video, then I click on pause again. So yeah, I just never record for 30 minutes long, and so I think that the camera will never, hopefully, overheat on me. For example, as of right now, my display is showing me that there are only 5 minutes left to shoot on the camera before it is going to overheat, I suppose, but I've been shooting for 15 minutes or more while the display was showing me 5 minutes left. So I think that they really came up with some good updates to fight the overheating, and I think that they will keep on doing so. So my overall conclusion is that the EOS R6 is just a way better video camera than the EOS R. But you gotta take into account that when you shoot stuff that takes longer than 30 minutes, or when you're going to shoot a lot of 4K 60p footage, that it possibly can overheat for you. It didn't happen to me yet, but I just want to warn you before you make the decision. And if you were asking if I'm gonna sell my Canon EOS R, I'm definitely not going to, because it's really useful for me that the Canon EOS R has a 30 megapixel camera sensor, which could come in handy for me when taking photos. And also the fact that having two bodies is just really useful for doing this whole YouTube thing, and when I'm going out to take content, so I can use one body to take photos and one body to shoot video. It's just really useful in general. Or when I would need two different angles. So yeah, I think I definitely made up my mind. I'm going to get the EOS R6. Quick update for you guys, I just got the EOS R6 myself. And I really hope that this video was helpful for you creators, and let me know in the comments down below if you're going to get the EOS R, if you do have the EOS R already and you want to upgrade to the EOS R6, just let me know down below. So if you thought this video was useful, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the YouTube channel if you want to see more content like this in the future. Creators, that is the day again from me today. Gone.